What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more John Taylor, and we're going back to his 1995. I think I said 97 a couple times, but I think that's just because, like, when I looked it up on Discogs, like, the version I saw must have been from 97, because it was like, there was like a label on the front of the cover that was like X bassist of Duran Duran, so I think at least that was maybe a reissue, but again, in the folder, that Seba shared with me, it says 95, so that's my bad for misperceiving that. Nevertheless, we're up to a tune that's called Always Wrong. As I go through this album, I'm beginning to get a sense, and I think Johnny's Girl has talked about it a little bit, that he's sort of exploring his own feelings and his own history and his own sort of experience through this album, which, you know, that's not surprising. I think a lot of solo artists do that, but I'm getting more of the flavor of that. And indeed, was it Adam? Someone commented that the track Everyone Is Getting It But Me, you know, I was thinking about it in the present that this can't really be about like romance or sex, because, you know, we're talking like a rock star who I think is known for his good looks, so it seems unlikely that that would be the case. But again, I think maybe Adam, if I'm getting that wrong, I do apologize in both respects. But they were like, you know, this is him referring to when he was younger and he felt like, you know, he wasn't getting attention in that regard. He wasn't able to sort of like find those connections, and so that was a sort of lament. And so the idea that as this album goes on, we'll get different snapshots in time about his emotions and his feelings and his attitudes. I'm beginning to get a feeling for that. So yeah, bottom line, we're up to a tune, Always Wrong. Because of that sense I'm getting, I may be wondering if, you know, it's at some time in his life he felt like he just things weren't going right, like whatever was being tried was not working out, and therefore like there's this sense of that, like you're kind of flailing and you're looking for an anchor or a touchstone or something, you know, a lifeline, something to, you know, get you back into, you know, the right mindset or a good groove, whether that's creatively or professionally. So it makes me think of this might be another one that's self-reflective. Now, again, a phrase like that could be external. It could be like, oh, every time I try to engage with this person or with this industry or whatever, you know, it's always the wrong advice that's coming back to me. It's always the wrong perspective that I think people are prioritizing. So it could be something like that. But as I said, given what I've heard so far and, you know, what I've heard people talk about the album just in the few reactions I've done, I feel like this might be more a mirror, and, you know, sort of whether it's, you know, current or whether it's something that was reflective of an earlier part of his life. I feel like that is maybe more likely, but I guess we'll find out. Let's get it. This is John Taylor. The tune is Always Wrong, and it's from his 1995 album, Feelings Are Good and Other Lies. Come on. But it sounds like a... We start to fight. Yeah. Well, there's some light. I see the way. I don't care how. You must stay now. The filter vocal. Lots of layering of his vocals. The spoken ones, the filtered ones, the sung ones. Oh, the guitar. Pretty sure this is my favorite one so far. Oof. Yeah, that's a top tune. I think that is my favorite on the album so far. And it's interesting. It felt like sort of what I was thinking, but it felt like complicated because it sounds like there's another person who's telling him always that he's wrong and they're right. Yeah, that could be a romantic or like a physical relationship partner, but it could also be like a business partner. It could be a bandmate. It could be many possible things, but it does suggest that there's like an asymmetrical relationship in which one person is constantly being told that any problems or any shortcomings are their fault, and the other person is always right about this. But yeah, it also sounds like he wants them out of their life. That like pain, like you're like pain that I could do without. I forget exactly what the line was because I'm thinking about other lines, but. There was that line which suggested that he recognizes that this person's presence in their life may not be the greatest thing, and that they should on some level sever it. So I'm not sure again exactly the nature of the relationship, but it sounds complicated, and it sounds like they're aware that it's not altogether healthy, but on some level it sounds like it still exists. It's still extant, and therefore has not been cut out or severed. So. I'm intrigued. Let me know what you think of the lyrics. Let me know what you think of the sonic. Sonically, I really enjoyed that, especially that like you sort of the real kind of epic guitar near the end, sort of like a solo, but also just some of the like riffs. So yeah, top tune. Again, the layering of the vocals. I'm not able to pick up on everything he's saying. Like the spoken ones were kind of like buried in the sonics, and the filtered ones, because they were filtered, I'm not sure I picked them up. Properly, but I enjoy the way the like different types of his vocals are sort of used over the course of the track and sort of combined. So let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.